Okay, ladies and gentlemen, so we are back with our Ravnica City of Guilds set review within 10 minutes for Selesnya Conclave here. And yeah, we start up with a pretty good card in limited. So Seeds of Strength, it's Selesnya cost instant. Target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. Target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. And target creature gets +1/+1 until end of turn. So we can distribute 3 +1/+1 bumps across three creatures, or we can put it to two or one creatures, however we choose the targets. And this is an unbelievable combat tricks. Like if you think if we swing out like defense, offense, whatever, I think it's gonna win a lot of combat. It's insane. So as the next one, Selesnya Avenger. This is to be played in pauper, so it's Selesnya for a 1/2 before one and tap an untapped creature you control, put a 1/1 green sap rolling creature token into play. So Selesnya is all about tokens, and this starts off the chain very nicely. Repeatable token making at common, nothing much to ask here. It's awesome card. So Selesnya Guild Mage, this is another one of the Guild Mages. I think this is the best Guild Mage in the set. So it's Selesnya Hybrid or two Selesnya Hybrid for a 2/2. And for 3 and a green, it can put a plus a sub-rolling token into play. And then 3 and a white creatures you control get +1/+1 until end of turn. I mean, this can build out a board and then threaten double activations at 8 mana. And Selesnya, we can get to that mana level and just, like basically a package of creatures and an overrun effect on them. So it's an army in a can if you can feed it with mana. And none of these abilities need to tap. That's the crazy part. Like if you have 8 mana, you can start making 2/1/1s a turn, and then doesn't take too long, maybe 3 or 4 turns until you amass an army which can just get through. So insane card. At uncommon, so Watch Wolf, this is another good uncommon. So it's a 2 mana 3/3. Nothing fancy, but it's like big stats for cheap mana, and in that deck, it's probably gonna work out fine. Centaur Safeguard. So this is a 2 and a Selesnya hybrid, and it's a 3/1 body. And when Centaur Safeguard is put into a graveyard from play, you may gain 3 life. So solid creature. Congregation at Dawn. This used to be a modern staple. So it's green, white for an instant, and switch your library for up to 3 creature cards and reveal them. Shuffle your library, then put those cards on top of the library for any order in any order. This used to be paired up with Collected Company Modern to make sure that we are always hitting. But then people realize that if they just build that deck well, they don't actually need this. I don't know how good this is in limited. My assumption would be because the creatures go to the top of the library, that's not gonna be very good. But who knows? Might be a sideboard card in certain matchups where we need to hit those live game centaurs against Boros or whatever. So yeah, could have a role, but I would not main deck this one. Glare of Subdual. Now this, however, I would definitely main deck, especially in a Selesnya deck. So this is an enchantment for 2 and Selesnya, and it has a text box: tap an untapped creature you control, tap target artifact or creature. So this is usually like a 1/1 tapping, except that Selesnya can have like 3 times as many creatures as the opponent, so we can just keep that creature tapped while we are pushing through damage or just preventing them from ever attacking. So this is excellent in Selesnya. Loxodon Hierarch, well, this is excellent too. So it's a 4 mana, 2 and Selesnya, 4/4 Elephant Cleric, and when it comes into play, you gain 4 life. And then for Selesnya, you can sacrifice it and regenerate each creature you control. Unbelievable card. So yeah, so this is good against everything. Removal of wrath effects, combat if you swing out. We can regenerate our creatures. Yeah, unbelievable powerful. So Phyto Hydra. So this is an interesting card. So it's 2 green, white for a 1/1 plant Hydra. And if damage would be dealt to Phyto Hydra, put that many +1/+1 counters on it instead. So the text box basically says that your opponents can't attack and can only use destroy removal spell or exile removal spell. Like this just clogs down the board. You can't attack into it because it goes gigantic, and yeah, it's an unbelievable card. It's a rare though. Privileged position, so it's 2 and triple Selesnya hybrid for an enchantment, And other permanents you control can be targets of spells or abilities your opponent controls. Yeah, I mean, if you see a deck with like 8 removal, then probably sideboard this in. Otherwise, I don't think I would main deck this very much. So, Selesnya Sagittars, it's a 5 mana 2/5 elf archer and 3 and Selesnya in the casting cost, and it has reach, and then it can block an additional creature. Yeah, I think it's very, very solid. It stabilizes the board until we get to our bigger threats, which we're gonna see in Selesnya, and then we can move from there. So Pollen Bright Wings, that's one of those bigger threats. So it's a 6 mana enchantment. The enchanted creature gets flying, and whenever it deals combat damage, put that many 1/1 green separating tokens into play. So these paired with the Selesnya Guild Mage, or basically anything else, like 2 hits, and then we get like 7 extra bodies on the field. High risk, high reward. It's 6 mana enchantment, so it's not free, but it can, put our bigger creatures in the air and it just start generating value. It's an interesting card. Probably, I would put it in my deck in Selesnya. Torsimir Wolfblood. So that's a very, very good card as well. So it's one of those legendary creatures, an elf warrior, 6 mana, 4 and Selesnya for 3/4. Other green creatures you control get +1/+1. Other white creatures you control gets +1/+1. And if you tap it, put a legendary 2/2 green and white wolf creature token named Boya into play. And because it's another white and green creature, that becomes a 4/4 on the pump. So it's like a lot of power and toughness for the value, and plus it pumps our entire team, including those sap rolling tokens. Yeah, it's a bomb rare, absolute bomb rare. And then we have another bomb rare, so Chorus of the Conclave. So that's our 8 mana rare here, and it's a 3/8 Dryad Lord for 4 and double Selesnya, so green, green, white, white. Has Forest Walk. As an additional cost to play creature spells, you may pay any amount of mana. If you do, that creature comes into play with that many additional 1/1 counters on it. Yeah, I mean, if they can't remove it, this just takes over the game. Every one of our 2 drops are becoming like 8/8 and we cast them. Yeah, it's an unbelievable card. So the last one, oh no, not the last one, but the one before the last one, we see it's got some pretty hefty mana costs here. However, Guardian of Vitugazi shows why these are possible to play. So it's an 8 mana 6 and Selesnya 4/7 with Vigilance, but does have Convoke. So we can tap while our creatures, and they can reduce the casting cost with either one generic mana or 1 mana of their colors. So in the Selesnya token deck, this can come out like very cheap on a few mana. It's a massive body which can attack with almost impunity, and that's vigilance. So attacks, blocks, awesome stuff. And then Big Daddy. So ladies and gentlemen, 15 mana, 10 green, 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 white, white, and this is castable. In a sealed match, I've splashed this into my Grixis deck, believe it or not. So that's how good signets and other stuff are, and bounce lands in this format. But moral of the story, rather, the 15 mana is no joke. But this is a 9/14 trampling worm, so this finished the game in no time, and it does have convoke. So in the token deck, we can cast it later on from like, I don't know, anywhere between 5 to 8 mana, and for that stat line, it's pretty unbelievable for that. And yeah, good luck casting this and enjoy turning this sideways. So thanks for watching and see you in the next one.